in chat, Bill Gates can get my address out of my cold dead hands. As if he doesn't know it already. I owned a Windows phone. I have a Windows PC, 2 of them. No, 3 of them. I've got the vaccine, 3 shots. He knows my address. He can come and find me if he wants to. I'll cook up a knuckle sandwich for him. Then I'll probably get beaten up by the security guards. Morning, Shadow. Morning, all. Morning, evening, afternoon, all. Another end of another week. It's a Friday. Congratulations, we all made it. I am maybe just a little bit ahead of some of y'all in that the Friday is over, so the weekend has begun. And it's a good weekend because it is a long weekend, for me at least. New South Wales and much of the rest of Australia has the King's birthday on Monday, which is a day off, most importantly, and interesting because it's the first King's birthday that I have ever had. Because for my entire life it's been the Queen's birthday, obviously, because the Queen has been around, and now she's not. So I am very much looking forward to just not doing anything. The simple pleasure of waking up on Monday and then rolling over and going back to bed. Delightful. Unfortunately, E3 isn't on this year. I say that because one of my greatest pleasures was on a Queen's birthday day was to wake up a little bit early and head over to the living room, get my breakfast, head over to the living room, and turn on the Xbox conference. Because that was approximately around 6 a.m. or so. And that's not a thing anymore. The Games Fest means it's on at 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. And that's a little bit too early for this guy, if I'm honest. It's a public holiday. I prefer to be awake at around the time the sun gets up, not 3 hours beforehand, unless I am going somewhere. Not just out into the living room. So as the name suggests, we're going to continue questing through Truck Week. Truck Month, I should say. This is the 3rd Truck Week. Not super jazzed about the trucks, as I established earlier. But I am jazzed to be getting back into Horizon 5. It is always nice to just take out a car and drive around Mexico for a little bit. But yes, that is a thank you all for redeeming it. What is it? Are you a big pant or a big jacket kind of person, or kind of persona? Is an allowable response as well. I am definitely IRL a big jacket guy. Or at least bigger jacket guy. Because, I don't know. I don't think I've ever really worn big pants. Certainly nothing in the way of like Jenko jeans or anything like that. No, Jeffrey Bezos knows my clothes. Bill Gates is still in the dark. Then again, I did search for that. I did just announce that on a Windows computer. Complications. I feel that him knowing that I prefer a big jacket is maybe the least of my concerns about what Bill knows about me. Old Billy Boy knows about this fop. What?
Press enter to start.
Yeah.
Press X for accessibility.
We're starting, don't worry. Microsoft Bob. Well, how has everyone else's week been? How have your weeks been so far? How's night shift been treating you, Shadow? How's the week wrapped up for you, Wolf? Oh yeah, is that because of the night shift, or is it to do with the PI ratings and your stance on low PI races? No, it shouldn't be that one. Okay, well, let's... Wow, we can get a lot of cars, okay. Super Saloons. Looks like it's a road race. I mean, I hope it's a road race. And we can take pretty much anything we have. Which is nice. We'll need to find something that we haven't really taken out before. And take that. Huh. Well, that doesn't sound great. And I can see that that would be a limiting factor when it comes to using a controller or anything like that. Does that affect your ability to work? Or are you still going to be doing the night shift?
Welcome back, comrade.
Okay, let us find A800. Let us find some super saloons. Just had to sneeze real quick. We could take out like the RS7, I guess. Wow, okay, that's pretty serious. Well, hopefully, those steroid injections do the trick, and we could drive the saloon, and by saloon I meant limousine. That could be very fun, actually. I hope we can, at least. Because we're definitely going to try. Alright, we're operating this. We've got to get the president around this circuit real quick. I forget it's front-wheel drive. It makes sense for a limousine, I guess. But it's just kind of weird for an American car to be front-wheel drive. It is a little bit mid just from my cursory glance. We're definitely going to need handling on this bad boy, because, well, at least we'll be stable, because we've got an incredibly long wheelbase. Yes, I suppose you're right, aren't they? I guess just for some reason I always think of American cars, and Australian cars for that matter, as rear-wheel drive. Never front-wheel drive. But there have definitely been examples of front-wheel drive cars in both parties. 7-speed seems to be a good balance of things. Bit of race diff. No, it definitely doesn't feel right, even just like saying it. You go V10. That'd instantly get us within spitting distance of our goal. Can you get a 4-rotor? Let's get as close to a Cadillac 16 as we can. Let's get a 12-cylinder engine. And we'll just go for a 6.5. The fact that I can't supercharge the V12 is rough. Yeah, this is going to be the greatest prom night that this teen and their friends have ever experienced. We're going to get them there so quick. Can I get bare rims? Yes, we can. Let's have a look at this one. We don't really look at the specialized rims that often. And like the first ones out of the gate are pretty nice. Just maybe not for this car. Or you could get like, what you do is you give them all like, camera gimbals, and you put your drink on the gimbal. Let's go for that one, that looks sick. And just so they know we're cool, get some big boy wheels. 20 inches. From D to A800. Let's go. Now let's paint this bad boy, because we have a lot of room to be painted. Yeah, I mean, there's an astonishing array of limousines, right? I feel like every car has been limited at one point in its life. I think that one, because I think we're just going for like the Need for Speed Underground opinion of what is cool. We could go to channel colors. So if we go orange, or do we want? No, hold on. What if we did this? Make that black. And then make the highlight. It's got a kind of weird effect to it, but I think it kind of works. I was trying to kind of go for the channel colors, black and orange. I think the inversion looks kind of alright. I don't know. I'm interested to hear your thoughts, chat. In the meantime, I'm gonna... It does. I will be honest, I have been mildly tempted to commission you to get an official Commander Zhao sticker vinyl thing. No, I think we go black wheels. But I just haven't kind of worked up the courage or decided whether it's actually a good idea or not. And of course we need to black out the windows. But can we make them orange? We sure can. Hell yeah. Let's make it a bit more orange actually. Instead of red. This is how I went to prom, obviously. It wasn't in a Toyota Hi-Ace van or something like that when I went to my formal. It was definitely in a V12 powered Cadillac limousine. Okay, let's take it down the road. See how much of a disaster it is. prom, formal, whatever you want to call it. I had Definitely 2, I think. One in year 10. Excuse me. And then one in year 12. Sorry, Fiesta. We gotta get to the prom. Yeah, you're right. It is definitely a Lambo. I wouldn't have picked it unless you said it, but once you say it, it's so obvious. Okay, let's work on this handling just a touch. Just a little bit. Let's really get that caster going on. Let's tow this in. Let's turn this down a touch. What's the diff look like? Damn. Why so much on the deceleration, guys? Anything, it should be more on the acceleration, I would have thought. Get those bad boys as low as possible. Just for comfort, obviously, so it's not as big a step to get into the car. Not any sports reason or anything like that. Rivals.
Welcome to Rivals. We're taking
My
on
rivals.
from racers all over Mexico. Think you can beat them?
Maybe. But in the meantime, I've got to get some people to the prom. I wouldn't say it's the quickest car off the line, and that might be to do with the fact it's twice as long as a regular car. It's definitely not what I'd call nimble. Hey, B-Legend. How's things? How's the school or work week treated you so far? Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I need to be doing. I guess we should have a look at the anti-roll bars. Okay, let's increase the stiffness to try and induce a bit of oversteer. I'm going to take the unprecedented move of making that even more towed in. And the other option that I'm really not tempted by is I could get a tune setup off of the Forza net, whatever it's called. But then I don't know if we'd get the V12 engine necessarily. Okay, I couldn't see actually that car very clearly over the roof of this car. The other thing is, look, I reckon we give it a shot. Because I don't actually entirely know if this car will qualify for the trial. Because it wasn't shown in the suggested cars section. Oh, I'm well aware this is almost certainly going to be a disaster. It really needs to be closer to James May's limousine. Like, I need a second driver at the back. Like it's a long fire engine or something. Just to really get around these corners. Saab Alpha, strictly. Or Saba Romeo. Quickly get in here and let's do that a bit more. Desperately trying to get the turn in better. Yeah, Game Pass is such a great deal. B-Legend. Not that I wouldn't have bought this otherwise, but I got this through Game Pass and then all I did was basically buy the expansion pass, DLC pass, whatever it is, instead of buying the game. Fantastic. Oh yeah, Jez's Fiat Panda was obviously the least capable of all of them, if we're honest with ourselves. Despite the fact that got the closest to finishing, if I'm correct. No, Richard's actually finished, didn't it? Whereas James has got stuck in an intersection. We can use it, hell yeah. Alright, let's see how badly we bring down the team. Hopefully they don't regret our addition too much. But ours will definitely be the one that can carry the most people the most comfortably. I think that is a safe statement. That's not a bad idea. What would I have done? I don't know. Because I've never actually thought about that question. What would I have done in that situation? Because obviously, let's think about the principles of a limousine. It's longer than a regular car. It's more luxurious than a regular car. Something's different about everyone else's car. I don't know why. Their wheelbase is about half as long as mine. They're longer, they're more comfortable, and more luxurious. At least kind of stereotypically, like the ideal limousine, if you can picture that in your mind's eye, is that. Also, none of them are really upgraded. I mean, the Toyota Crown is a limousine on its own, isn't it? Oh, what am I thinking of? I think James had the right idea in length. I mean, it's safe to say that many of Richard's problems and Jez's problems came from the length of their wheelbase. Now what you do if you really want to stand it is you can combine another one of their challenges and you get two really cheap supercars and weld them together. Get two Maraks and put those guys end to end. My first thought, which is probably incredibly dumb, was to do kind of what James did, except with a twist, which would be to get, let's say, two Saabs, and instead of putting them back to back so they've got two heads, put the back seat. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to think of how to do this while I'm saying it. Cut off the bonnet of one of them, and cut off the boot of the other one, and attach it so it's got 4 doors on each side in a row, all facing forward. And I'm unsure if I'd want to retain the rear axle on the front car or not. I think I kind of would, just for the hell of it, but I'm also conscious that would probably make turning somewhat dicey. I think in reality, if we're going for a similar pedigree of cars that they used, I think the best car you could go for, thinking about it properly now, would be what's called in Australia the Tarago, a Toyota people mover, and limousine that. How is it that we are actually doing competently in our limousine compared to everyone else? A Previa, yeah. I think that's what it's. I guess that's what it's called over there. Maybe get 2 of those. I don't know in what orientation necessarily, but I'd use that as a baseline and extend that. Okay, then you'd have a lot of room, easy access through the sliding door. It's front-wheel drive as well, I'm pretty sure. Or is it? No, it is front-wheel drive. Yeah, like, I think that would be the go. To get a people mover and try and class that up, rather than get a car and try and make that a lot larger. I mean, obviously still extend the people mover. Maybe get the middle of another people mover and put that somehow in the middle of your people mover as well. But I think that's the way to do it. Or at least that's how I reckon that's the way to do it. But I'm also thinking, what would be the opposite? Because a lot of the trouble that they had was from wheelbase issues, being too long. Did we come third? Well done us. Not bad for a limousine. We got to prom real quick. But I think the other option would be that you get two like Toyota Argos or Volkswagen Ups and plug those together. So you've got your luxury, but you've also got your short wheelbase for that handling. Or you take the other route. The reason that Jeremy had trouble, and a lot of the others, is because of the height of curbs. So maybe you go the route of getting a Jeep Wrangler and extending that. Or like a Jeep Renegade in the front-wheel drive configuration. Alright. Let's see what we can do. It's crazy that no one's really upgraded their cars, it looks like. Like, how is my car got the highest PI points? And certainly it's got the longest legs. And that's probably because of the V12. It's a bit rough off the line. But once it gets going, it gets going. That was me trying to gear down and I ended up in the cockpit. Bruv, really? Couldn't even take the corner properly, guy. Wow, our team is not doing super crash hot. We might be doing this one again, chat. Thank you, Sergeant, for the shout out, by the way. Definitely tightens up when you slow down. Oh, interesting. That is weird. Or kind of coincidental. Okay, Pablo Antonio, you're in my sights. Just a shame we've got tight switchbacks now. The other thing I was thinking of, which wouldn't really work, unfortunately. Well, actually, no, I've got two ideas now that I think about it. Would be, instead of going for long, you go for wide. So you get two, you know, Saabs or whatever, and instead of putting them back to back, you put them side to side. So you've got a 4-wide seating arrangement. But that's obviously not going to work on the streets. Certainly not the streets of London. The other option I just thought of, if you wanted ultimate maneuverability, is you get two Smart for 2s. Ultimate maneuverability. The engines are at the back, so it's sporty. At least I'm pretty sure they're at the back, right? Yeah. The other thing, I don't know how it would qualify as a limousine, is you just get like a like an estate car, a station wagon, and instead of making the seats further away, you just make the station wagon part longer. Don't know how useful that would be. Excuse me. You could also do yeah, like an 850R, but just with a longer back. I'm just thinking, you could also do, like, what would a Ute limousine look like? Like, I could see it working quite straightforwardly in a James May configuration, where it is just you get rid of like the tray of one of them and just slap them together. So they've got two heads with a tray in between. I was thinking something more along the lines of a Commodore, a more traditional Ute, rather than a pickup truck, per se. Or you could also do a version where you go cabin tray. So for the full length of the car, it would be bonnet, cabin tray. So you've got, it looks like you've got one Ute that's running right into the back of the other one. You know, like a rear end collision. That could be funny. Take that, Tristan. No more downforce for your rear. Wow, we are first of the living again, which is wild to me. Steady on, mate. Pablo is a long way ahead. Okay, we're just bouncing off the wall there. Yeah, I've noticed that, well, frankly, a lot of the people in this one are a bit, yeah, inelegant in their driving practices, shall we say. Yeah, that's definitely a more to the point way of describing it. They're just kind of bouncing off walls and stuff. It's weird. It's not like they aren't leveled, at least according to their accounts. It's not like this should be their first rodeo or anything. I will get you, William. This should be the Italian Prime Minister's limousine. V12 from Lamborghini up front. Oh dear, oh dear. That son of a bitch. Just lost us the tournament. Just lost us the trial. Bollocks. Yeah, you could actually. I forgot you could get a limousine. Gee, if only that RS4 hadn't knocked me off the road, we may have actually won. Oh well, looks like we're going back and doing it again. But, surprisingly, the car wasn't the problem. I think I can speak for all of us here at twitch.tv/CommanderDow's chat in saying that we probably thought it would be the problem, but it wasn't. And that's including me. I thought it would be the problem too. But no, it was everyone else. There's two eyes in that. I just noticed. Which is weird. Like, that's weird, right? That there's two of those... Hold on. That there's two names that are so close to each other, like, in similarity. That just feels weird. Anyway. Oh. Apparently we won somehow. Cool. Yep. But we're not doing it for the car. I mean, frankly, I'm not doing it for the cars. I'm just doing it for the points and for the Friday. We'll unlock that new emote in the shop. And we will ignore the hat. Alright, let's have a look at the seasonal championships. I didn't mean to press that button there. I meant to press it here. Oh, I forgot about the LM002. I could take any number of Toyota Tundras out, it looks like. And that's just... Ah, it's only all-wheel drive. That's the only restriction? That's awfully civilized. Okay, well, at least it doesn't look like they're being too strict. Let's get this one out of the way first. Pick up some 4x4s at C400. I think it was. Whatever it was, top of C class. Pickups. And 4x4s. Got the Jimmy 1970. Let's take the LM. We clearly haven't taken that out before. Let's take that out for a spin. Because this is the only game you'll ever want to or can drive this car, if we're honest. Otherwise, you'd be a madman to try and drive this car.
Turn around.
Yeah.
To do so.
Yeah, the suspension is soft given how much we leant forward when we braked. Big boy. Okay, that's kind of cool. I'm going to add that on. Okay, it looked like it was purely off-road, so we could do that. But you're right. Let's start with weight reduction. First, rally suspension second, disc brakes third. Anti-roll is absolutely needed, it looked like. Let's try and stiffen you up as well. Hold on. Yeah, it's about 3 tons, 3 metric tons, a little bit under. So it's around the weight of a modern American pickup truck, from what I can tell. And somehow it's even less practical. Actually, the stock just sends the best, so we're just gonna leave it like that. We can't do that, nope. But we can make the wheels significantly larger. Get some sweet rims, because that's, you know, that's what Mr. Lamborghini wanted, obviously. This is the kind of car that I reckon would have been in Need for Speed Most Wanted if they had one. If they had kept their kind of SUV vibe from Underground 2. No, I would never want to own this car in real life. That looks kind of off-roadish. Hell yes. 24-inch rims. Ballin'. Absolutely ballin'. Let's get the Forza Air at the front as well. Oh, let's get a gearbox, actually. Gearbox. 7 speed. Yeah, you're not wrong, actually. It would make a very good Rhino. Just thinking about it, it would be interesting if they made like a period piece Need for Speed. So it wasn't about contemporary cars. It was like set in the 80s or the 90s. Like back in the day, but... Oh yeah, I mean, obviously the Pterodyne Gurkha would be a fantastic Rhino. I realize I didn't paint it, so I'm going to go back in and paint it. Now we could go one of the obvious options, which is a more camouflage thing. Because this was originally meant to be a military vehicle. But given the fact that it uses like 20 liters of fuel per 100 Ks, at least, unsurprisingly, it was knocked back. But I think the wheels suggest that we need to go for something a little bit glitzier. Maybe like glossed aluminium? Polished brass? Thank you, Sergeant. Chrome? Maybe get some timber? So it's black, silver, and white. Ugh. The ultimate cocaine transport car. I'm just gonna get one from the Hot Wheels because I can't be bothered to really work too hard on this one. Is that meant to be orange? It doesn't look it. Doesn't really look like a great yellow either. Hot Wheels, come on. You forced me to jump in here and play around with sliders. Hot Wheels, how could you? After all that I did for you, which was not much, I'll concede, but... Well, I mean, I guess there's not many of them, but like one of the few things I know about this car is that it was owned by Saddam Hussein's son, one of them. And that's not really an association I want to have, more than I have to. That's going to be a no from me. No, not a great endorsement. I mean, it just kind of screams tin pot dictator to me. It's the kind of car that doesn't really have much in the way of class. I mean, obviously our version has even less class. And you'd have to be in the Middle East to drive it, obviously. Just because it uses so much fuel. Oh, absolutely. One of those over one of these. 100%. Now, what are we going to slap on the side of it? We could go for a Ream hot water system. Could be nice, could be nice. I don't know why these ones are always up here. Well, obviously we need to advertise that we're a 4x4. Just in case they didn't know. 4x4. I think that'll do nicely. It's simple, it's to the point, and it's what the people need to know. Because they're going to be driving past and they're going to be like, is that a 4x4? I can say, yeah, it is actually. Thanks for noticing. Okay, that'll do. Let's get this race done. It's always the same vinyls on the right-hand side. And for some of them I can understand, like, I can understand that Pikachu would always be up the top. Things like that, perhaps. But... or Donut Media. Those kind of YouTube channel logos I could see always being up the top, but the fact that it's always there is a little bit much.
200 meters. Turn left.
Hold on, let's get back in the cockpit.
Turn left.
Oh. It's got such a huge center console. Look at the size of that thing. Four by four. Yeah, the bonus scoots.
In 400 meters.
I kind of like it, how it's like not symmetrical. It's kind of neat in that way, but it's also, it's like, why?
Turn right.
Like that severely affects forward vision. That power bulge or whatever you want to call it if you're a BMW designer.
Recalculating route.
Let's tune the car a little bit. Get that up here and that over here. Maybe a wee bit of... Nah, let's leave it handleless for a second. See what that's like. It's definitely slower than the last Lamborghini powered vehicle we drove. That's the weird thing is I don't actually own a Warthog. I've been realizing as I've playing Cursed Halo, I don't own the Warthog in this game. I need to acquire it, I think.
Turn right.
Like it's even got like pop-ups in the roof. Just make the roof taller, guys. It's not like you didn't design the car yourselves. Just make it like, I don't know, half a foot taller. The Warthog. Okay, that's not terrible. I mean, given the currency that I have to work with, that's definitely reasonable. And it might be less in the auction house as well, so okay, that's good to know. Let's take this 4x4 out for a drive. The funny thing is that this is an enormous vehicle, but it's probably still, well, it's probably nowadays actually quite small compared to other cars on the road. Like the T-Rex Dodge Ram, for example, is probably larger than this. Though it's probably more economical, this car, in terms of petrol usage. That's ominous. I saw an H2 on the road the other day. At least I think it was. Which is a very rare sight in Australia. Even rarer these days. I can never quite tell if it's an H2 or an H1, but I guess it's gotta be an H2, right? But it was a very big Hummer. It definitely was an H3. Because I don't know about you, but in England, but over here there's still a lot of H3s in limousine guises. The H3 really cornered the limousine market somehow. For kind of hens nights, bucks nights, formals, proms, that kind of stuff. So it's not uncommon to see one a month or so. A stretched Hummer. Yeah, and I think there was also an element, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger owned one and stuff like that. Like it was a, I guess, meant to be like a manly man's car or something. Yeah, they're pretty terrible. Then you really shouldn't be expecting much from the plastics for American cars from that time period. And I mean, given the size of the car, you shouldn't be expecting much of the MPG either. Yeah, but I mean, I don't think Chrysler's were that much better. Ford was probably a little bit better just because of their European influences. Shadow Fox getting done dirty here, getting me 6 points. Yeah, I really like the crossfire from the outside, and then I saw the inside, I was like, maybe not. Actually, maybe not. I give that one a miss.
Turn around when it is safe to do so. 400 meters. Turn left.
I think it also had a weirdly stunted gearbox as well, like a 4-speed auto or something like that. But I might be wrong on that front. I can't remember precisely. It's probably been 2 decades since the Crossfire was really of note. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that was something to do with Mercedes not wanting Chrysler to eat the SLK's lunch.
In 400 meters, turn right.
So they stunted it a bit. It could also be that they wanted it to cost a certain amount, and as a result,
Turn left.
well, you're only getting this gearbox as opposed to the good one.
Turn right.
Whoa! Surprise jump.
100 meters, turn right.
Good job it's four-wheel drive.
400 meters, turn right. Turn right.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know what the kind of thought on the Crossfire nowadays is, in terms of people driving it now. Is it like considered a real good car to pimp, or is it just relegated to the litter box of history like the PT Cruiser and I mean, Chrysler's in really dire straits when you think about it. Chrysler doesn't exist in Australia anymore. Oh, no, it does, but it only sells a Vs, or at least it did. And if it doesn't anymore, the last thing it sold was a V6 version of the 300C, and that was it. But I think that's gone away as well now. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same in Australia, like they've just retreated from right-hand drive markets. You see them not irregularly in Australia because a lot of our police cars are 300C Hemis. Well, the highway patrol cars at least are in New South Wales. I can't speak for other states there. Yeah, Infinity is still a brand here, I think. But I think it would be the same even if it wasn't a brand. You see more Infinities than you do Chryslers. Yeah, I've noticed that too. I've noticed that cars are definitely more of a luxury item. Like, cars are more expensive, and you really only see more expensive cars. Yeah, absolutely. Same here. When I was... And this was probably, 1 or 2 years after you were considered little. But when we moved to where I grew up predominantly, which wasn't a poor place. It was probably what would be called a well-off, or a more well-off part of town. Upper middle class, let's say. And it was a good day when you saw a BMW. And now they are as common as anything. And it's a good day if you see a Bentley. But not an uncommon day at that. It seems that they're definitely... I don't know what it is. I don't think it's that there's more money around. I don't know. I mean, when I was growing up, the majority of cars were probably the big 3 or 4, like the ones that used to build cars here. Holden, Ford, Toyota, and to a lesser extent Mitsubishi. That might be biased because my parents have my mother has always driven a Mitsubishi, so it might be slightly biased there. But, you know, plenty of Commodores, plenty of Falcons, obviously. Okay, this is not going well for us. I blame the fact that we weigh 2.6 tons. Well, we came in the position we did and didn't get overtaken, so that's a plus. Okay, I think we can make that work. There definitely has been a I don't know what the word is, like basically BMWs and German cars, they are the more luxurious ones here, are not that uncommon.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
I don't know if that's because owning a car is more of a luxury these days, or a new car is more of a luxury these days,
You have
or what, I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's because there's just more money in the system, because I certainly don't have BMW money. Like, even their cheapest 1 Series is a lot of money. Well, I think... I don't know. I know my boss drives a BMW. He drives an X3. And I know that that one is leased. And it's probably leased through his business. And I know my aunt drives an Audi, and I'm almost certain that is leased. Because she was a specialist, like a medical specialist. And I think that was leased through her kind of practice, business. But, like, they can't all be leased to businesses. But I wouldn't be surprised if they are all in finance. Yeah, all of that. So if I did ever end up getting a job, like one of the new jobs that I've been applying for in the background this year, which sees almost 150% increase in pay, I am very tempted to have a look at a BMW i35, a 135, from like 2013. Like, after all of that talk about it, I think it would be nice to actually own a cool car. The real kick will be at the insurance and at the Bowser. Because I don't know if it needs 95 or 98 octane. But I'm almost certain I'm going to take 91. At least not Australian 91. Because our fuel is apparently not great we will get lesser version of the engines. Out of curiosity, Shadow, is your car red? Because I know that colours of the cars will affect your insurance. But yeah, I don't know, because I mean, obviously it's not something I've really thought about, but in my limited understanding, my thought has always been you get screwed over a bit more if you're a man, because stereotypically you're a bit more reckless on the road, and you get doubly screwed over if you're a man under the age of like 25, because you are more stereotypically going to go a bit wild on the roads. But outside of that, I know very little about what kind of controls the premiums. But I guess a powerful car probably is not exactly viewed as a good thing by the insurers, because you're probably more likely to send it than you are in like a Corolla. Now, hopefully that is enough to get the W. It is. For a 2005 Impreza. Goodness gracious. That is an astonishing amount of money. Oh, okay, that's really close and convenient. Thank you, game.
Turn around when it's...
We're gonna get something a little bit faster than this car to go say hi to that. Yeah, of course, yeah. If it's in the garage, obviously it's less, because in theory it's less likely to get damaged. Where's my Ferrari off-roader? Stop by manufacturer, and then let's jump to Ferrari. Yes. That would not help. And I imagine yours has been modified. But I imagine it's also stored in a garage.
In 400 meters, turn right.
It's been a while since I've actually ever taken this car out. I don't know if we've done any tuning to it. We haven't. Okay, let's leave it like that for now. Let's see what it does. Yeah, and I imagine performance turbos are very frowned upon in the insurance community as well. Like, if you did performance brakes, for example, they'd probably not hit the premiums quite as hard as the performance turbo. Yeah, I mean, fair point. A lot of understeer on this car.
Arrived at your destination.
What's the diff doing? That's what we should have looked at. We didn't look at the diff. Doing too much. I mean, not much at all, really. Increase the anti-roll stiffness a little bit. And let's do nothing there. That's right, I remember you were saying you wanted to get a wide body kit on it. Where would you get that from? Would that be... I mean, obviously you'd have to import it. But where does that come from? From Germany, or... Or does it come from somewhere weird like Japan? Ah, from Brabus, of course. Forgot about them. No, not at all. I mean, you're lucky. You could probably even go and pick it up if you absolutely had to. Make a kind of weekend trip out of it. Be a long weekend, admittedly, but still. Yeah. Well, that's a good question. Have you hit up the Nürburgring in your car? Said hello to the new Fox mascot of the Nürburgring. Yeah. No, I can see that. I think there's a little bit of trepidation around that whole idea of getting into the real world. Because I have a sneaking suspicion that I'd go in there with a little bit of like a hotshot syndrome. I was like, oh, I'm pretty good at Forza Motorsport or whatever.
400 meters.
And then I'd get kind of taken down a peg when I realized actually I'm pretty trash when it comes to IRL rubber on tarmac. Yeah. Well, okay, that's fine. We'll just do a casual pirouette in the air there.
Let me guess. You found it.
I mean, if we're absolutely lucky, we might be able to get a warthog out of this.
Wow, that's generous. Well, just the spirit of Horizon, isn't it? Shall we send a thank you?
Nah, but that's alright. It's still a nice car. Won't say no to that. Not at all.
Feels so good.
Okay, where is the next playlist? This is just all-wheel drive. Up the mountain we go. We might as well drive our new Lamborghini machine. Lamborghini. It was this one. We've got two of them and we haven't driven any of them. Thank you, Sergeant. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of people, though, that will just overestimate their abilities and then just end up crashing. Because I don't know how it works, but I imagine there's like a time limit for how long you have around the ring, how many laps or whatever it is. So people will get like
400 meters. Turn left.
kind of desperate, I guess, to set a good time and then just overcook things.
Turn left.
That's my guesstimation interpretation. That's a... Excuse me, that's a lot less than I thought it would be. Then again, I suppose almost everyone is not going to be doing just one lap.
Turn right.
And they'd be getting most of their money, I imagine, from manufacturers who want to like close down the Nürburgring so they can set a great lap time in their new Porsche 911 or whatever. Ow, ow, ow. Alright, let's try and get as little drift as possible. That is always my goal in these drift zones. Take it as smoothly and as grippily as possible. I love the look of the folded metal on the roof with those kind of ridges and valleys there. Oopsie daisy. We got some drift. Yeah, it would almost be better to just kind of like cycle around the course. Just at like a casual speed so you can like take it all in. Stop and appreciate all the different details and stuff that you can't see when you're trying to send it. I'm not sure I've ever driven around. I must have at some point around the Nürburgring. Because I can definitely remember the famous graffiti, but I don't know where that was. Like in what game? Maybe with Forza Motorsport, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's an immense course, right? Should have a look at the history of it, like why it is where it is, why it's so big and that kind of stuff. And how it got its reputation.
You have arrived at your destination.
Because there must be a reason why it's held in such high esteem. Because currently it's just like, well, it's the Nürburgring, right? Why wouldn't it be held in high esteem? Well, isn't for quite a bit of it, it's just... Like, there are towns and stuff that are inside the Nürburgring. I meant to not hit B. That you access off of the Nürburgring. So in many respects, it is just kind of like a road. Being one of the audio engineers for Forza Horizon could be pretty fun. Having to go out and to record all these cars. Though I imagine you don't really get much time to just appreciate them. You're probably having to, man the mics the entire time, but still.
Turn sharp left.
Yeet.
You have arrived at your destination.
Ow. Okie dokie. Solo. Gotta get the Cherokee from 2014. Just gotta. Okay, what car do we want? Get the RS4 from 2013. The Formento from last week. An RS Ford Focus. A Cortina? Or an Escort, sorry. A Gen F HSV. I think the Q60 actually I'm gonna go for. Yeah. What? I don't remember making that all-wheel drive. Okay. There's also the Peugeot. That could be fun. I feel like I did. Like I can remember it vaguely in the back of my mind, seeing that video. Like it's... yeah. It looks like it could be a fun day. But I can also see that it's the kind of thing where you might just be busy working and don't really get time to actually... If I do that... Okay, why were you so truncated? Your gears? Oh, I didn't get any suspension? Very cool. Okay, well... We're just gonna be, kind of raw dogging this one. That's alright, probably. Yeah, just seeing some of the cars in the flesh would be really cool. And the ability in some instances to actually sit inside them as well. I remember this being better than it actually is, but we'll just keep on trucking for the time being. Because we're all working our way up the field. Excuse me. RS5. I feel like I remember like this car sounding better. Doesn't sound terrible, but doesn't sound great either. UM4, get out of here. There is a white body kit for it, isn't there? Forgot about that. That Quattro power is just pulling away in front. Yeah, our brakes do leave a little bit to be desired. Catch up. I think it is. I think this is actually not particularly upgraded. Because like half of the things outside of the gearbox in the tuning menu are not accessible. I think I'm running rally tires, which is probably absorbing a lot of the PI. Instead of like off-road ones, which would give me a little bit more budget to do stuff. So that might be something worth looking at. But unfortunately, we've got ads coming up. So I'll drive to the garage while the ads are on, and we'll fix it up there. Stupid Audi drivers doing the same dance. Okay, where is the nearest garage? Probably that one down there. Let's go say hi.
Turn around when it is safe to do so. In 400 meters, turn left.
Definitely sounds like a straight 6, as Shadow said.
In 100 meters, turn right.
Sounds a lot less smooth than I would expect a straight 6 to sound though. I know that the next race is just over here. We'll teleport back up here or something. It'll be fine. Probably. We need to get attention this for sure, and better brakes.
Will begin soon. Good luck.
Definitely need better brakes. Like, look at that. Okay, I guess we're going this way now. Oh dear. We're fine. Less fine. Bit more fine, less fine. Fine. Overall, fine. I'd give that run down the mountain probably a B.
In 400 meters, turn right.
Definitely not an S tier dismount of the mountain. But not terrible. That was not an awesome J-turn game, and you know it.
200 meters.
That J-turn was pretty rubbish, actually.
Turn
Stop
left.
complimenting me when I don't need it. Or deserve it, I should say. Insulting.
In 200 meters, turn right. 200 meters, you will arrive at your destination.
Okay, I want to get handling upgrades in this bad boy. Okay, let us start by doing that. Getting off-road tires. I knew it. Rally suspension. Anti-roll bars. Did we put a diff in it? Didn't even put a diff in it. For shame. Diffing it up. Did we change the gearbox? Didn't even change the gearbox. I think it was. I think I just kind of slapped some stuff together and the rally tires absorbed most of the PI budget. if that's the best one, but it's the one we're going with. Yeah, plenty of car choice. We were just back here. Yeah, come. Keep your head in the game. Oh, itchy eye. Hold on in the chat. What uno momento? Gonna scratch the old eye. Oh, itch it, I should say, not scratch it. That would not help. Scratching it would definitely not help. Ah, that's fine. We're not we're not online. We don't need to make use of every PI point. Just most of them. Okay. Oh, that's much better. Look at those gears go. Okay, now we can play around with the tuning, because we need to change the diff. Because I foolishly put an off-road diff in. I'm just going to say 35, 35. I don't know, 40, 40 at the back. And I'll put the split slightly more to the rear. And turn it out at the front. Gearing looks fine. Tire pressure is probably acceptable. Maybe slightly more stiffness in the rear to induce a little bit more oversteer. Or like reduce the understeer, either or. Yeah, I think we're doing alright. Alright, let's teleport back up the hill. Teleport me, baby. Yeah, how long did the doctor give any advice as to how long it would take for you to get better? Like, is it going to be a long process or a relatively quick one? It's the kind of thing that sounds like it's probably not going to be overnight. Okay, that's not as bad as I thought it would be, actually. I thought it was going to be, like, months. Oh, much better handling. And grip. Ow. Okay. A little bit bouncy, though. That's... Yeah. Like, definitely not helpful. But at least it's only a relatively short time. Okay, that's better. Just gotta be a little bit less aggressive on the throttle there. Alright, now we're in first. Did we bully the AI to get here? Yeah, a little bit, I'll be honest. Yeah, that's the main thing, right? Get those 20 points, get that car. That's the only reason why I'm here. Excuse you, Ford. This is a W for the land of the rising sun. Thank you. No, at least it's not something that'll keep you kind of homebound. Certainly less than the shoulder did. So I guess on that note, Shadow and or chat, you got any plans for the weekend? Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you said it because it is something I've observed. You've been a bit accident prone over the time that you've been in my chat. Oopsie daisy. I feel like you spent half of your time on leave from work due to various medical reasons. Definitely taking a lot of concentration, this car. Yeah, going a little bit grey, I guess. Getting a bit less bouncy, a bit more brittle. Yeah. Going grey. I mean, I'm already going grey. I've been going grey for a while, really. Oh, come on, Zhao. Be a bit sensible in our corner cutting. Okay, I did not expect them to be right there. It is a little bit, yeah. It is a little bit, what's the word? Not quite a memento mori, like a reminder of death, but definitely a reminder of the passage of time whenever I get a haircut. Because it's just a lot of grey hair in my lap. Still, as much as I bemoan the fact that I'm going grey, well, not too much, but it's not what I prefer to have happen.
200 meters.
It's better than what my brother is experiencing, which is going bald, which he's not a huge fan of. I thought I wasn't in the more vertical one. Ow. My father went bald, and our assumption is that's where my brother gets it from. But on my mother's side, my grandfather never really lost his hair. Like, I think even at the time that he died, which was probably when he turned 90, I want to say.
You've arrived at your destination.
He still had a pretty full head of hair, if I remember correctly. I've never really had it long. The only time I've really had it long, I guess like almost half the world, was during the lockdowns we had over here. And the real thing that I hate to this day is that I didn't get a photo of it. With, what was basically a mullet. I didn't get a photo of it. And I realized like halfway through the haircut, damn it, didn't get a photo of it. Because I don't think I'll ever have hair that long again. But personally, I like to keep it pretty short. Because I do not really doing much in the way of grooming. Probably not advisable to follow my example in that regard. But it means that I need to be I don't even know where I was going with that setup for a sentence. It means my hair needs to be shorter so that I can get away with it. Because if I've got long hair, it's obvious when I haven't brushed it, for example, or that kind of stuff. Victor Desprada, we meet again. My hair is relatively straight. It does get into kind of curls as it gets a bit longer. I definitely noticed that when I had that mullet of which I spoke earlier, it had a kind of flick up at the bottom. Like it would, you know, go down my head, and then just as it like reached my neck, it would turn up, which was quite nice. I would play with, there was like a curl just beneath my left ear, and I'd kind of twirl that like I was a, you know, besotted 16-year-old girl or something. Yeah, that would be a full-time job. Particularly if you wanted to keep it like a good quality fro. There'd be so much brushing so it wouldn't get knotted and stuff like that, yeah. Not something I will ever have to deal with, unless I get curlers. Which is not exactly on the agenda, if I'm honest. Okay, that's done, which means we got the truck. Truck. K10, K10. Let's have a look at the event lab. Okay, I don't think I'd ever be that confident to go around the shops with that. That seems like something very much out of the, excuse me, out of like the 50s. I feel those curlers. I definitely think they're more of a, like a period piece than anything else. Let's get some super wheel spins going on, chat. Get some currency. Sell a Titan. Bit of money. For some reason, I was just reminded back in, I think it was Horizon 2, where it was just a grid of 9 squares where it would move around rather than a slot machine looking thing. Hell yeah, bro. Styling with the shades on. Love it. I guess I do too. Like, I have, for lack of a better term, a work uniform. Like, just the clothes that I put on for work. And part of my work uniform going to and from work is a baseball cap and shades. Baseball cap for mum. Gotta be sun safe, particularly if you're in Australia. And the shades, yeah, also for mum, because I've got pale eyes. And also I feel like it adds a little bit of anonymity, and I appreciate that. Also, the hat keeps my head warm.
In 400 meters, turn right.
The only other way that I vogue it up is I have some fun socks. Outside of that, there's not much in the way of Vogue. I'd like to, you know, be a little bit more fashion forward, fashion conscious.
At the roundabout,
But, I don't know, it just has never really appealed to me in the way that it has to my brother, for example. Yeah, it's basically the same. It's business casual for my office, so shirts and nice pants. So mine are kind of Uniqlo business pants. A little bit of stretch to them, which is nice. And then a button-up long-sleeve shirt on top. At least that's what I wear. Some of my workmates will sometimes wear like a short-sleeve shirt in summer. I'm more of a roll-up-the-sleeves kind of thing. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm in a long-sleeve shirt and like track pants. Tracky dacks, as they'd be called in Australia, the kind of thicker material stuff. And then some, what are they called? Like sock slipper things, which are interesting. My parents picked this up on their trip last week, and they're made from New Zealand wool, 100% New Zealand. That's nice, I think to myself. Lovingly hand knitted in Nepal. Huh. That seems weird. I feel like they probably could have been lovingly hand knitted in New Zealand or Australia, but sure, let's ship it to Nepal.
turn around when it is safe to do so.
Oh, you've got a heatwave, do you? We've got a cool change coming in over the long weekend. It's going to be in the range of 5 degrees tonight, I think it is.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
I would do no such thing, Anna.
400 meters.
I have never worn slippers since I moved out. Damn, that's hot. Particularly for England. You guys are not made, like, your
Turn
world
left.
outside of your physicality is just not made for that kind of temperature.
Turn sharp right.
35 degrees is rough. Yeah. Do you have like municipal swimming pools over there? Council swimming pools?
400 meters. You will arrive at your destination.
I've got, in the apartment complex I'm in, there's 2 towers, and in between them there's like a courtyard with a swimming pool in it. But it is so cold, that pool. Because it's not heated in any way as far as I can tell. And even on the hottest day that I was at home during the summer, it was still too cold in there. I just had to be like, nope, sorry, I'm not doing that. The Peugeot? The rally fighter, perhaps? Let's go the rally fighter. I mean, you could go there, I guess. But yeah, like, what are your plans to deal with the heat? With your 35 degrees coming up? I have never been to a water park. Not once. Like, I'm almost certain I've been on a water slide, but I don't know for certain. Like, I don't know 100%. I think I have. but I do not know for sure. Ah, air conditioning. Well, your BF's from Arizona, New Mexico? Somewhere around there in the United States, so he'd be familiar with the concept of air conditioning. Utah, I was kind of in the right region, approximately. Yeah, that dry heat. So is that like a portable air conditioner, one of the ones you can wheel around and you have to plug into a window to exhaust out of? Yeah, okay. Those are good. Noisy. The one that I had was very noisy, but good. They do a good job. My rule of thumb was to turn it on at night to like cool it off, and then when I went to bed, I'd turn it off and just turn on like a fan, kind of keep moving the cool air around on me, because it was far too loud to have on when I was going to bed. I bought a used one before I bought a new one from Aldi, and the used one was not the best. It didn't have a reservoir for the kind of moisture that it removes from the air. Oh, a second. Oh, okay. We're gonna check it all out here. So it would drip, and it made the single worst noise when it started up. It would turn on, and then like the compressor would turn on, I think, and like, you know, get ready to actually start blowing cool air. And then like a minute after you turned it on, the fan would start, and it would sound like someone was changing gear without putting the clutch in. It was so jarringly gear crunchy. And the first time I heard it, I was like, oh my goodness, I literally jumped out of bed. But then, after that, it was fine. It was like someone changed gear into the gear they wanted without the clutch, and then they just kept on trucking, driving along smoothly. But just that engaging of the fan, that changing of the gear without clutch, oof. Big oof. So I got rid of that one. I think I put it on Gumtree for free. I was like, I'm not gonna charge money for this. This is too problematic. Someone take it off my hands, because otherwise it's going in the council cleanup on the landfill or whatever. No, that's right. It went to the garage first, and I got rid of it before I moved out of that place. Alrighty. Well, we should probably have a look at the Chevy K10. We did just spend a lot of time trying to unlock it. Was this Chevy, right? There she is. I have never heard of them. That must be an English thing. There are some people who will come around and take your unwanted electricals. At least in my council area, not too far from me, there's a council-run, basically tip of sorts, where you can take your e-waste and stuff like that for free and get it dropped off. Oh, it's only got 3 years. That's a bit rough. Oh. Unsurprisingly, it's a little bit to be desired. Yeah, I don't know if you could take a washing machine, but you can take like your printer, your computer, Xbox. Like I've seen a PlayStation 4 in one of the bins in the warehouse where you drop all the stuff off. And the most annoying part is that there is a sign saying you cannot take anything out of the bins. Which I kind of understand. I guess it's for like a privacy thing. Like if you put your computer in the bins and you're not savvy enough to have taken the hard drives out before you did so. In theory, it's not going to be touched. It's safe. But I'm also like, yeah, I would really like to have a look at that PlayStation 4 and see if it, you know, works or not.
At the roundabout, take the third exit.
Speaking of which, I might actually make a run to that place. I've got a few things I need to dispose of that are electronic.
It is safe to do so.
But they won't take fan heaters or space heaters, those kind of things, for whatever reason. Which is a little bit annoying. So those have to go into landfill, basically. The other classic Australian way of disposing of just anything, really. But those larger things that you would nowadays put on Gumtree is the old council cleanup. Where you put out your old fridges or couches or whatever on the side of the road, and the council will come around in a big old truck and take it to the tip. But the best part is, I can go around and pick it up. Because that's how I got my couches. I have 2 blue couches, and I got them for free. They cost me, in total, I think $100, and that was the cost it was to clean them.
In 400 meters, turn right.
Now what do we want to do with this car?
Destination.
Do we want to make it a track weapon? Do we want to make it a rally car? So we've got the stock engine, which is undescribed, unfortunately. Got the 6.2 litre V8. Got the 7.2 litre V8. And the 7.4 litre V8 twin turbo. I think the one most keeping in the spirit is this. Yeah, absolutely. Like, these couches, outside of maybe, you know how, like, couches have that kind of fabric undercarriage plate to kind of contain the whole thing in fabric? That was a bit torn up, and there's like 1 or 2 paint drops on it. They're literally perfect condition. I got my shelf. Actually, now that I think about it, I have one of those IKEA cube shelves. It's a 2x4. 2x4 set of square pigeonhole things. I got that off the council cleanup. I've got a laptop out there, actually. I picked up off council cleanup. The power's on, but the battery doesn't hold any charge. It doesn't have any hard drives because someone was sensible and took them out. Like, people throw out good stuff on council cleanup. As for that laptop, I don't rightly know what I'm going to do with it. At the very least, I'm going to take the RAM out of it and do something with that. But outside of that, I don't know. That's American. Supercharger. I was hoping for like a bonnet. Like a bulge bonnet or something, you know? Now, do you want to go camping? Or do you want to go to the Baja rally? This is an important question, chat. I'm leaning towards camping. I'm leaning towards camping. Any thoughts are more than appreciated. There is definitely something nice about those kind of rooftop beds. I think if I could, I would definitely try and get one of those if I was going camping at like on a regular basis. Though I'd probably put it on like a station wagon. I've got tire thicknesses. The front and the back. Let's go big back boys and small front boys. So we've got that kind of angle. Is there any reason why I'd want that angle? Not really. How big do the tires get at the back? 305s as well, okay. I'm just gonna leave it like that, I think. What are we doing? What's the go in the C's? Let's try and go for the top of B class. I'm tempted to have a look at Farm Sim at some point. I saw that that's on Game Pass. But the next game I do want to look at on the topic of Sims is Car Mechanic Simulator for sure. That is definitely going to be the next one. Once we finish the Halo Cursed playthrough, we're going to have a look at Car Mechanic Simulator for sure. Huh, it actually reduces the PI. Okay, there's all of them in here. All of the PI choices. That's done, that's done. This was not done. We could do that one. And what happens if we did this one? Just to get a little bit of that supercharger noise coming through. I want to be weird and now reduce the rear suspension height so it's a bit more even. Forza Vista, please. That's looking pretty level. Let's give it a lick of paint though, so it doesn't look like everyone else's K10. This is my K10. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Hell yes. Hell yes. Put that XJ220 in the back of a Golf. That looks like a bit of classic Americana, that kind of color scheme. Let's do that. Because now you can now drive the cars, I'm pretty sure, in Car Mechanic. Let's put another, just one vinyl on here. Creator info. Let's have a look at this chap here. They seem like they might have some good stuff. You go for some ice cream. Target. Coughlin. Old Navy. Mack Trucks. AAA Casino. Black & Decker. Aldi. That's what we're doing. Aldi. Aldi. Let's get some special buys up in here. Where are you off to? Oh, I don't know. Aldi. Now, do I want it behind the door? I think behind the door, so it's always square. Absolutely. I'm thinking... I went there this afternoon on the way home from work, and I'm thinking I need to be going there more often. I used to live... when I first moved out, I moved out in a suburb that had an Aldi in it, like quite close by. I'm currently in a suburb that's just next door to one. Next door to a suburb that has an Aldi. But yeah, I love the special buys. I will confess that that is something I always do. On a Wednesday morning, whether it's before I get to work or when I get to work, I check the special buys. What is on sale on Wednesday and Saturday of the next week? Aldi! Come get these special buys. I've also really gotten into, as dumb and svelte as it sounds, I've really gotten into the Aldi frozen vegetables. They're really quite good. At least the ones over here. They come in a packet which has carrot, corn, peas, beans, and potato cubes, which I've never seen before. Okay, we can probably bring that down a touch so you fall inside the graph. Yeah, something like that. Come on, 6.5. You know my game. Okay, I think we're doing all right. Maybe not quite that high though. Let's go 60%. Let's go 65% to the rear. Yeah. I think I'm trying to think. What things do I mandate have to be name brand? I'm not sure. I mean, there are definite things that I can only get from certain supermarkets here. Like Coles, which is one of the two big boys down here, does better gluten-free sweet biscuits than basically anywhere else. So I go there. But they're Coles branded, so I guess they'd be no name. Yeah, we need to play around with the anti-roll bar back, because we're getting radical unders here. Let's go for a nice round 20. And I will say that the Aldi chocolate is significantly better than other brands' chocolates in Australia, at least. But most of the stuff I eat outside of kind of required things, I'm pretty happy with swapping it out. Like, I don't really use sauces, like, at all. The only time I use sauce is satay sauce. And because I'm a classy fox, I use that as a pizza base sauce. There's a pizzeria around these parts that offers a satay base on their pizzas, and I've fallen in love with it ever since. It's such a nice combination. Let's take this for a photo shoot, chat. Try out the new photo mode. I haven't had one in a while. Primarily because it's costing a lot more than it used to. where do I want to go camping? Probably over here somewhere. These have got some nice fields. I haven't ordered in a pizza. I've ordered it once here.
In 400 meters, turn right.
Yeah, my usual is similar. I normally go for one, maybe two proteins of sorts. If I can, it'll be one of the supermarkets here sells crumbed chorizo, some of that. Maybe something else like either bacon or chicken, onion, capsicum.
In 400 meters, turn right.
Something else. It's been so long. Sometimes mushroom. Oh yeah, I'm not under any impression that it's a health food. On the satay base, and then with some chili flakes on top. So give it a bit of kick. I'm tempted to make one at some point this long weekend, but we'll see what happens. Well, it's primarily because I don't use enough of it that I could warrant buying it. But if I'm out, I'll happily have pineapple on pizza, because it is a delightful combination, despite what you may say, Shadow. It brings a lovely contrast in flavors. Still not doing well. I wonder if it's the diff. It's 8 on deceleration. Shouldn't be the absolutely. Let's try and up the suspension a little bit more. I mean, the other problem is it might be the tires, because we've got the big fat boys at the back. Yeah, I mean, the classic Australian burger is your beef patty, your standard, you know, onion, lettuce, tomato, cheese, that kind of stuff. Then you got your pineapple, and then you've got your beetroot as well. A nice slice of beetroot. That's your standard kind of Australian The Works burger. Maybe some bacon as well.
You have arrived at your destination.
Let's go camping up back here. Okay, so it's like a nice open patch of land for us to pitch a tent. Time for the photo mode. I've learnt to like beetroot. Hell yeah. Who's that good-looking fella over there dabbing up a storm? Perfect. Yeah, let's go late afternoon. Sunset. Much better. Yeah, it's really nice. It's such a nice change. It's kind of crazy that it has taken them this long to put it in. We don't want dawn. Let's go back to sunset, please. Morning could work, but it's... what about cloudy morning? That's a bit flat. Overcast. No. No, we don't want it raining. Let's just get cloudy. Power lights enabled, steering right. We're dabbing. Yeah. Okay. This is in our quest chat to get the Aldi sponsorship that we so desperately desire. Look how soulless those eyes are. Yeah, we got the whole car in there. The Aldi logo is nicely on the kind of rule of thirds lines. Probably make it a little bit better if we back it up a bit. Got it on quality, sampling bokeh. Let's focus on this fella there. Let's introduce some depth of field. Bit much. Still a bit much. Still a bit much. Still a bit much. Heading there. Let's increase it a little bit. I want to be able to kind of suspect what's in the background, but not really see it clearly. I'll leave the exposure where it is. So I think we're going to take the shot. Take the shot. Check out this shot from Shadow. Damn. What a glamour shot. The AMG GTR is a very good looking car. Dabbing up with the homie, Aldi. Oh, what was it? We're up to 42. It is a little bit unfortunate that we can't have our character outside of the car as it's moving. I mean, the 928 does get a little bit of flack. I think it's not a bad looking car, particularly from the back. I quite like that kind of rounded butt it's got, for lack of a better term. Yeah, I think it gets a lot of flack unnecessarily. Speaking of which, do I have a 928? Because I was wondering, what car should we take online? Why don't we take the 928 on it? Or shut. Get back a bit more into the past. Got the 944. 968. Ah. Let's try and take the 944 turbo then. It's not quite the 928, but it'll do. It's 928 adjacent. It looks a bit more like the RX-7. I guess we'll go to this festival. Jazz it up and take it online. Did it have the Z8 in it? I didn't realize that.
In 400 meters.
Then again, I've never particularly cared for the Z8. It's a funny looking car, that one. It looks so different to anything else that BMW produced at that time. Or since, really. Okay, what can we do with you? We've clearly already done something with you. Because we've got street tires, but let's go for sport tires. Got fat rears. We've pushed them to the edges. I don't know if I've ever actually seen a Z8 in the flesh. Some 17 inches, so a bit more reasonably proportioned. Ugh. Yeah, let's not do that. The Z1, that was the one with the doors that kind of went underneath you, right? If so, I've definitely never seen that one in person. Okay, so we did all of that. We did do weight reduction. I don't think it's super necessary. What's the gearbox like? Got race transmission. Good, good job. Didn't do a diff, but that's alright. We can do it now. I guess we put the rest of it into performance. Like engine upgrades. Speed. Zoom zoom. Power. Very subtle fire out of this one. Go with a regular one. Cool. Very cool. Go straight 6. Turbo rally. Or regular straight 6. Turbo straight racing 6. Sorry, not a regular one. My apologies to that engine. I don't want to insult it. No, I'll stick with what we've got. Just conscious we're not as close. There we go. Gonna say we're not that close to the A-class top as I'd like. I was wondering what engine it had. An i4. I mean, it is impressive what you can get out of those kind of engines, though. I guess it's more impressive that they did it back then. I don't know what I'm doing, sorry chat. I'm thinking... doing something darkish? Like... a yellow? Oh, I guess we'll go for an orange kind of highlight. It's an intriguing car. Get the calipers the right color, thank you. I mean, yeah, it would be fantastic classic car to own. Any of them would be, really. I'd have to... I mean, it'd be a good excuse to, but I'd have to learn how to drive a manual. Let's get on some tarmac. Not particularly well suited for this kind of terrain. Let's try and flatten you out a bit. Turn you in a bit. Turn that up a bit. That looks fine. Yeah, the trouble with the TVR, I mean, from what I've heard, is they're a little bit rough around the edges. But, I mean, that's part of the class of it, right? Okay, he's still understeers a little bit. You maybe noticed it just a touch there, chat, if you're paying attention. Yeah. I mean, you're not going for an easy, clean driving experience if you're purchasing a TVR. Okay, we need to play around with the anti-roll. Quite a bit, I'm going to say. Yeah, sorry about the ads, chat. I'm just going to try and fix this car up while you're on the ad break. Okay, I think we're in a much better position now. Well, maybe not much better.
Arrived at your destination.
Still understeering a lot. Maybe I'm just expecting too much of it? Wouldn't be the first time, I guess. When Shadow gets back in, I need to ask him what tyre pressures he'd figured out were good ones. He told me a couple of streams back, but for the life of me I can't remember what he said. I mean, it doesn't help it was in PSI as well. And I'm working with bar pressure. Okay, I ran into the same tree. Just after he left. That tree, to make room for me to run into that tree. Very polite. Interesting air conditioning knobs. Kind of smooth domed situations. Oh, come on, keep on, there we go. I need to be more active in, using the brake pedal, I think, in the corner. That'd help. Always a good idea to get up and keep that blood circulating. Now, Shadow, I was going to ask you, in an earlier stream, you mentioned what were good PSIs for a tyre in terms of like pressure for the tuning menu. Do you remember what they were? I'll try and punch those numbers in, if you do, before I head online. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter. And we'll just head online with whatever tyre pressure we got. 30 PSI. PSI to bar 32. Okay, so we want to get 2 bars of pressure. So we're just going to decrease that touch. Yeah, I figured as much. I couldn't remember what you said it was, but thank you. 2 bar is what I need to be doing. And just quickly, gearing. Let me make it a little bit faster in terms of top speed. That'll do. 340. And let's find it on... Right. That one. Let's find it online. A-class. Road. Or street. 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 A street. Yeah, I imagine you'd probably want a higher PSI if you were doing a drift car. So you did lose grip more easily? Current car. Activate. Event in progress. Awesome. No, it works out. It worked out pretty well. It's just a metallic shade with black underneath and orange on top, and it looks the business. I need to remember that kind of combination of colors. Oop, there's a tree. A little bit worse to wear up front. It is kind of a shame that Porsche stopped making these style of cars. I'd be very interested to see what a modern Porsche 928, 944 would look like. Like, I imagine if they'd stuck around longer, they probably would have had the VR6 engine in them, right? They could use like the flat 6 from the 911, but... Well, I mean... You know Porsche now, it's all about the Cayenne and the Macan. Cayenne, sorry, and the Macan. They're an SUV company these days with a side business in sports cars. Still, for better or worse, the Cayenne, in particular the Cayenne, is the reason that Porsche still exists. Damn it. And the Taycan. I quite like the look of the Taycan. Particularly the Taycan Gran Turismo. There's kind of more quasi-station wagon hatchback to it. Yeah, you're right, they do have a Panamera, which is, I guess, a four-door version of a 928. I think despite all its backlash, it's still sold like hotcakes. Because it was the Porsche that you could buy and still, like, you know, take the kids with you or whatever. So I could see it being a very, what's the word, like easy sell for a midlife crisis to the family. Certainly easier than a 911. Yeah, the Cullinan looks rubbish. And I think it looks rubbish, in my opinion, for the same reason that the DBX looks rubbish. It's got a weird kind of boot lip. Like it's trying to look like a regular sedan, rather than just embracing the fact that it is in fact a hatchback. Oh, okay, well, I guess we're coming in third. That works out well. Yeah, I think it's the fact that they tried to, well, they forced it to have the Vantage's design cues in terms of like the rear boot lip spoiler / third brake light. And it's just, it doesn't work on SUV, in my opinion. I think, if I can remember correctly, I'm yet to see a DBX in person, but it can't be that far off. Yeah. I'm really disappointed in the Urus because, I mean, I'm not super surprised by it, but the Urus concept looked really nice for an SUV. And then the actual Urus is a bit kind of I mean, it was always going to be that way, right? For the most part, outside of things like the Range Rover Evoque, the concept car is so different from the production car. Like, it's actually quite remarkable how similar the Range Rover Evoque's concept car is to the production model. But I'm frankly impressed that Porsche is still selling the Panamera. I'm surprised they haven't gotten rid of it in favor of the Cayenne and the Macan. No, they didn't. But for whatever reason, that was a kind of sickness, delusion, that kind of swept through the car community at that time. Like, you had the convertible Nissan Murano, I think it was, as well, in the States. There seemed to be this idea that convertible SUVs are like a nice idea, when the reality is, not really. You're gonna make a heavy car heavier. Like, it's already not light, and now you're gonna make it heavier? Oh, good idea. I feel like that's not that wild. Like, you've been getting convertible Volkswagen Golfs, for example, forever. So it is a bit weird that the Micra got one. Maybe that was to try and compete with the Fiat 500 and its convertible guys. There we go, chat. There we go. Finally turned up. Yeah. I'm trying to think what would be my favorite convertible. I mean, for me, a convertible should have a soft top. I'm not a huge fan of the hard top roofs that are more common these days. But if we're purely talking about Mercedes-Benz convertibles, gotta be the SLK. Thinking about it, I'm surprised that they haven't tried convertible SUVs again. Given the amount of kind of niche within a niche stuff they're doing with SUVs. Like, there's so many different models. Surprised there isn't a convertible one. You know, they got the quasi... Ow. They've got the quasi-sporty coupe SUVs. Why not a convertible? And in principle, that didn't look terrible, the convertible MPV. I like the idea of a four-door convertible. I think that's a cool idea. I think Mercedes had a four-door convertible concept car, at least. That was pretty close to what could plausibly be a production version. Oh, sorry, sir. Oh, that's going to knock back his renovations somewhat. Not having a great time on the Mexican roads tonight. Online, at least. We did quite well for ourselves offline. Not so much online. I don't know if we're going to finish. Yeah, the XKR is definitely a nice choice. And I do think convertibles look better where they're long-nosed rather than having like an Audi TT or a Porsche Boxster. Thank you, Sergeant, for the shout out. I think if I were to buy a convertible now, like I was, you know, frog marched at gunpoint to a dealership, I'd probably have a look at something maybe a bit basic bitch, but the MX-5, I think. Yeah, T-tops have definitely kind of faded. I guess the closest, maybe like one of the only remaining ones is probably the 911. They still quite routinely have a Targa. Oh yes. No, that is another good one. Or the S800, 600, the Kai car. turn in. Hey, saw hair loss? Hair loss? How are you this evening, morning, afternoon, or night? Hope you've had a good week. What are your plans for the weekend? Oop, 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 oop. I don't really know many other T-tops outside of the 911, now that I'm thinking about it. Oh yeah, well that's not a bad thing. I don't have much plans. I'm hoping to try and organise to see the latest Spider-Man with some friends, but otherwise, just relaxing. My week was pretty alright actually overall. If anything, it was really quite slow and I was quite distracted. Last week was a bit rough, but... Oh, the MR2. I would absolutely get a last gen MR2 convertible. Forgot about that car. Or a last gen MGTF. Would also be an acceptable answer. Is the Subaru Brat a T-top? There you go. I would definitely not have expected that. Get out of the way. Speaking of which, it's kind of weird that the Toyota 86 or BRZ isn't convertible in some way, right? Oh yes, the Elise. Is the Exige as well? Or is it just the Elise? You know, the Exige is as well, yes it is. I think. Okay, now I'm second guessing myself, I don't know anymore. Monte Carlo. The Monte Carlo. I think what we're getting out of this is there are quite a few T-tops around the place. Please hold, loading. Plymouth Voliere. Voliere? Voleri? Classy sounding car though. Was it the first Viper? That was the T-top? I feel like I can see that one being a convertible, like without the roof. Yeah, okay. Well, good guess on my part. Alrighty, we finally found a race. Ah, that's why, because more people were turning up. Including a... No, the Pontiac Trans Am's been there for a while. What's new then? The GTR? Maybe the Dodge Viper too. forward to when the ghosting turns off. I mean, that's the American dream, right? Having burnt feet and eating into someone else's backyard or front yard. I guess it depends how fast you're going. That aware light fella is clearly experienced because he's taking these weird angles to get through the checkpoints like it's the best possible angle. Bruv. I'll drop a sorry. Rico. Okay, I didn't know that was coming up. That's entirely my own fault. Oh, what are you doing back here, sir? Oh, a little bit low in rank, maybe that's why. Yeah, there's always that one guy in the lobby, right? Who's just like, pew! As soon as it starts and you never see them again. If you're lucky, that's you. More realistically, it's not. Absolutely the meta Andes. If I hadn't braked there, I may have gotten him on that corner. Okay, Sarah. I feel like one of them, maybe it was that Pontiac fellow, but also the fair lady guy was taking weird kind of routes. Like really taking wide routes, so they went through the checkpoints at like straight on. It was weird. Oh, come on, get the Warthog. Ah, that's alright, 250k, that's not terrible. Maybe it was the Pontiac then. I don't think it was on that race, it may have been on the previous one. They were taking really wide, like going off the road wide. I'm going to do one more online tournament. Trying to think if I want to go for a little bit longer than that or call it there. I don't know. Well, we'll definitely do one more, and we'll see what happens after that. See how we feel. Maybe the thrill of victory will propel me forward. Who knows? Yeah. Also feel like I need to rest my voice. It's going a bit sore. We could take out the limousine again. Let's do that. We started with the limo. Let's end with the limo. Nicely bookending the stream. And while that loads in, I'm just going to turn off the air conditioner. Excuse me. Okay, I'm back. No? I don't think so, at least. I just like the 355 because it was in GoldenEye. See, this is what happens. I've dropped off Timmy and Jane at the prom. Now I'm going to race for pinks. Before they need to get picked up. Frankly, I will be happy as long as I can keep in sight of the others. By no means do I expect to win. It absolutely does, and frankly, I will be surprised if there isn't. It seems like there's lawnmower racing. Admittedly, the bar to entry is slightly lower than limousine racing, but it seems like a perfect thing for some yobbos to be doing, right? Oh, you got outsteered by a limo. Ugh. I think people just need to learn to have a bit more fun in the online lobbies. Take out a limousine. There literally isn't a competitive scene. We're not playing for sheep stations, guys. Just, you know, have fun. I know it's a foreign concept. But maybe it shouldn't be. Yeah, unfortunately. What do you mean by MVP racing there, Shadow? I might just be being a bit thick, but I don't quite get what you're saying there. Oh, thank goodness we got the carbon ceramics. Oh yes, MPV, absolutely. Well, at least we came third, because someone dropped out. But you know, we don't have to mention that. We can just say we came third with the limousine online. I think... I mean... buddy, really? Well, I think I came second, because they looks like they just left. I think I would go for a 2000s... I mean, I'm assuming that we're on a racetrack for this MPV racing. I would go for a 2000s-ish Honda Odyssey. I've heard that that's a very good driver's MPV, if such a thing exists. So I'd probably go for that. Second place. Can't remember using it too much, the Morris Mini Traveller. Yeah, I guess that's the thing. Is this MPV racing a little bit of a kind of contact sport? Or is it a more kind of gentlemanly race where that kind of contact is frowned upon? Because if that's the case, then that changes the equation. I don't know what it changes it to, though. But it does change the equation. Oh, probably that Fiat Dodge collaboration MPV from like 2008 or so. if you guys got it up in England, but that was a car that existed down here at least. I saw it the other day. Oh, that was a very crisp glass breaking noise there. Well, ugly as hell. Maybe that'll help distract the other drivers. Is this guy up ahead in the Blues Brothers car? Kinda looks like he is. Cool. If he is. Oh, bollocks. I don't know. I'm gonna have to find out after the, if he stays around. After we finish the race. Sorry, Gallant. Oh, first place is a lot closer than I thought it was. I don't think I'm going to catch up to them though, because they are just gunning it. I feel it's pretty safe to say that we're more comfortable than they are in their car. Ooh. Bit heavier too though. When I'm CEO, this is how I'll get to work. At this speed as well. Just flying through the A roads of Sydney at casual 200 kilometers an hour average. Getting thrown around but being nonchalant behind the rear seat. Yeah, I mean, given the distance in front they are, yeah. I should try out one of those meta tunes and just see what what is it like to be in a car that is just perfect, basically, for this kind of stuff. Sideways. I think we got fully sideways for the time we did that. I'm in the back seat though. I'm not in the front seat, I'm in the back. Trying to eat my breakfast. It's that kind of problem solving that helps me. It was a super beat, there you go. That kind of problem solving that helps me kill it during the day, you know, get that grind set going on. That is absolutely a Blues Brothers theme, right? Yeah, I imagine there's like, when it comes to that kind of meta stuff, you're talking like single percentages either way in terms of like suspension tuning and stuff like that, just to eke every little bit out. Okay, so we got Pontiac Trans Am again, and an M5 from 93. Or 95, I couldn't remember which. Again, I still think I've got the most space out of all. I think if we're honest with ourselves, I can carry as many people as the rest of those cars combined. Oopsie daisy, getting outturned by a limousine again. That is embarrassing. Oop. Could be a podium finish for us. Very poggers. I mean, ideally we'd get like the Maybach Accelero. That'd be sick as hell. Because I'm still not entirely certain if that was a real car or not. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Damn it. There's still plenty more race though. That's a plus. Yeah, there's a lot of people who are doing that tonight. I don't know if it's the same person, but I've definitely seen other people do it. Do we pull over, chat? I reckon we gun it. We run for it. Oh, that guy, yeah. Yeah, I think they've got a meta tune and they're taking the meta race line as well. Just meta all day, every day on that fella. Okay, so we're definitely on the podium because there's only 3 people in the race again. So we can say we consistently placed on the podium in our limousine online. That's huge. The first place isn't even that far away compared to the last race. I don't get why people leave these kind of things. Like, sure, you're not gonna win, but, you know, we'll get some credits out of it. Some experience. Maybe even some fun. I mean, that's a good advertisement. The B12 limo outran the police. That's the limousine I'd be hiring. The cybernetic fox does help, obviously. Quicker reaction times and all that kind of stuff. But he can outrun the police. Sounds good. Oh, we won the championship. Hell yeah. Woo! Just because we were the last person standing. Everyone else left. We got those pink slips after we took Kimmy and Jimmy and Jenny and Penny to the prom. Make some money on the side. Got a Ford Transit van. Not quite what we were looking for, but, you know. Not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. Okay, I think I will leave it there, chat. I can feel the week catching up to me. Now the question is, whomst will we raid? A very good question, as I'm sure you'll appreciate. Whomstest will we raid? First we shall exit the gum. The gummy. Okay. Do we do Fusaki Desu? Perhaps? Or we could do Gwent. Let's do Kusaki. Alright, chat. We're gonna raid Kusaki Desu, another Australian streamer who's currently playing Fortnite. Don't hold that against him. Playing it on zero build, which is naturally the preferred option. I will see you in about 20 hours and 30 minutes. Some cursed Halo. Be here. I will keep you posted over here if anything changes. It shouldn't, but you never know. Until then, have a good start to your weekend or end to your week. and let's go say hi to Kasaki. Cheerio.